What up? What up? Mic check, mic check, 1 2 1 2, mic check, 1 2 1 2. We live on a Wednesday. Shout out to everybody in here. We got everybody in the group. Not in the group. We got everybody in the room. Thumbs up in the chat. Hope everybody is getting their notifications. Let me go ahead and fix my cameras and all of those things. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's had a great week. Monday we had to take off. We had family stuff dealing with. Ron was dealing with some family things. Actually, Ron has an anniversary. Happy anniversary to him as well. Him and his wife, they're celebrating. Shout out to you in the room, sir. Yes, we got a lot to talk about today. What up, guys? What up, Mike? What up, y'all, man? Appreciate y'all being here for another episode of Mike Check, man. It's gonna be a good one, man. Eminem has released his album cover for his upcoming album this Friday. Common and Pete Rock are dropping this Friday. What up, Darren? Common and Pete Rock are dropping this Friday. Thumbs up in the chat, guys, and get some bell notifications out there. Let me know if you guys are getting your notifications as well. Eminem's put out his track list. We've had the track list for Pete Rock and Common as well for a minute. Looking forward to hearing some new music from some hip-hop legends. And when I say hip-hop legends, definitely Common and Pete Rock. I know a lot of people are looking forward to the Eminem. It's always great to talk about new music and talk about some people who have legacies and legacy building. We haven't done a show yet since Eminem has mess with my lighting real quick. Get my lighting right. We haven't done a show yet since Eminem has dropped a new album. And so this should be interesting to see. I'm looking forward to seeing what he comes up with. And based on what we're hearing from Pete Rock and Common, I'm really, really looking forward to their effort. But Kendrick dropped the Not Like Us music video. Was that on 4th of July, which was Thursday. So that hit after a day that we've done our last show. I know that Ron and Leroy were able to talk about it over the weekend. Man, that's a great music video. And I think that it's a shoe-in for Song of the Year, first of all, right now. And we're going to get into the whole Common, Pete Rock, and Eminem track list and the death of Slim Shady and how maybe my banter has contributed to the way that Eminem is rolling this album out. But anyway, Not Like Us is a dope music video. And it made me and Ron think, like, we need to talk about some of the all-time great music videos. And I also was thinking, like, what actually makes a great music video in hip-hop? Hip-hop haters. No, Eminem haters. No. Ain't no haters going on. But what makes a great music video in hip-hop? So we kind of start jotting down some of the greatest music videos in hip-hop history. We're going to do a top 25 of that. I wanted to kind of get somewhere on this show with some of those music videos and make sure that everybody's on the same page, because it's a little different than an album or a song. You can kind of gauge impact, you can kind of gauge sonics, you can kind of gauge subject matter. But when it comes to a great music video in hip hop, what actually makes for a great music video? Some of the conversations that Ron and I were having offline, we talked about Ice Cube's Good Day in relation to Pharcyde's Drop. Now, both great music videos, but which one would you give higher points? One where the music video basically goes scene for scene with a well-written song, where Good Day, as great of a music video it is, which I think it's one of the greatest, and we're going to have that ranked really high. But the video kind of writes itself, because the songwriting and the storytelling in that song is so great. And so that's one thing. And then when you look at something like Drop, where it's not really about anything specific, but they really got creative and came with something that we hadn't seen, with the whole music video going backwards. Same thing for Exhibits. What you see is what you get, which might not be on a lot of people's lists. But I mean, anybody who remembers the box back in the day and remembers what Exhibit was doing in that music video and how memorable that music video was based on the approach. Actually, man, Snoop Dogg said that's what got his attention going Exhibit's way, and that's what got him on Bitch Please, supposedly. But yeah, do you give those type of music videos higher points than the music videos that are a little bit more literal? And so I want to ask you guys, like, what exactly makes for a great music video? I mean, are we giving innovation more points? Are we giving impact more points? I think sometimes when you look at music videos like Cream, It Ain't Hard to Tell, or let's just say Shook Ones, I think the songs are so powerful that the songs kind of make us feel a great way about the music video, and the music video didn't have to do too much. You know what I'm saying? I remember Russell Simmons talking about Triumph in relation to Cream. He was like, yeah, Triumph had the big budget and this and that, but Cream was just simple and straight to the point, and it had that grimy feel, and it's just a better music video. Now, I would agree with Russell on that. Me and Ron had this conversation offline as well. I love Cream as a music video, but personally, I like Brooklyn Zoo as a music video better. Shimmy Shimmy as a music video better. Ice Cream as a music video better. And Bring the Pain, personally. So saying all that to say, I mean, where does that put those? Now, granted, I think Cream is probably the most impactful, but it could be argued that Ice Cream could be the most impactful. LP says Triumph is one of the best videos ever. Why exactly? Are we being song biased? Because I gotta watch myself when it comes to that, because I'm more of a music person than I am a movie person. And shout out to the movie buffs out there, because I really respect the movie buffs and people who know their movies back and forth, and scripts and cinematography back and forth. I'm a music person like that. So I always feel like when I'm rating or ranking music videos, my love for the music kind of seeps in. I love Triumph as a song, and I love what they did bar for bar. But music video wise, is it really one of the greatest music videos ever, or is it the song that makes us feel that way about it? So I got to watch myself on that. Then you have that approach when it is you got the scene for scene approach, right? And you have the great song with the music video that matches approach. And then you just have the straight up creative approach. And I kind of look at stuff like Busta Rhymes with Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Could See. And I think people, creativity for you. Okay, creativity goes. Where does Missy fit in this? And I say this respectfully, and I had this conversation as well when we were having a music video conversation. Some of Missy's stuff is a little bit cartoony, which is creative and is dope in its own way, incredibly dope in its own way. But in hip hop, we kind of put a lot of credence on grittiness. Like, I think Method Man and Mary's record, All I Need, is a very memorable video. It's something that meshed both of those worlds of R&B and hip hop, and it just hit all cylinders, and it worked. It's been redone. The fashion in it's been redone. And to me, even though it might not have all those special effects and tricks and schemes, it's still one of the greatest music videos ever for what it was able to portray and what it was able to put forth. I would put that music video ahead of, let's just say, Missy Work It, and that's no disrespect to what Missy did and any of that stuff. I think that Missy's best chance of getting on a list like that might be The Rain. But is The Rain kind of similar to what Busta did on Wuha? I don't know. I'm just asking these questions before we just put a list out there, because I think these are interesting conversations to have. And then you have a music video like Biggie's One More Chance remix that isn't like, it's a house party, you know what I'm saying? And I think the song being so great and all of the cameos in the video really makes that music video great and memorable. Same thing for the Brat Give It To You. So I guess with my list and where I'm going, creativity is going to be key. And I think creativity, innovation, and impact. And I think that can really get you the best videos you need on a list. Mind Playing Tricks on Me hits those cylinders. I think that A Children's Story from Slick Rick hits those cylinders. I mean, but where does stuff like This Is America from Childish Gambino fit in? Is that creative enough? I think Kanye West, All Falls Down, hits those. I think Runaway from Kanye hits those as well. I think High is one of those that it's kind of cameo, gritty, and shocking, if you will. I think DMX is I think DMX is not what my dog, you know what I'm talking about. Get at me, dog. I think the grittiness of that. So that's what makes hip hop so different, though. Hip hop's kind of like rock and roll in that sense, where it's like, do we put the grittiness over the polished thing? Same conversation I had offline. It's like the 36 Chambers versus Wu-Tang Forever conversation. Like, clearly they're better MCs on Wu-Tang Forever and the production's more polished, but 36 Chambers is gritty and it has some things that you cannot duplicate. Yes, I agree with the Beastie Boys thing. I got Sabotage very high. And to that Beastie Boys point, and to that Sabotage point, if you will, Spike Jonze, who also directed Farside's Drop, I think his music videos were even more creative than Hype Williams' music videos. And I feel like Spike may have done more with less as well. Those Hype Williams music videos, as beautiful as they were, they broke the bank. Those are big budget videos. Now, do you guys think, and maybe I could put this in a poll, do you guys think that Outkast and UGK's International Players Anthem should be in the conversation for greatest hip hop music video ever? We're talking about 25. And we're talking about a situation where you got Outkast and UGK collaborating together. They set the scene as a wedding, Andre getting married, and you basically got a players ball in a wedding setting for this music video. You think so? I think people are saying yeah. I see one yes. See one yes in there. That's a top 25. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting because I think that the gravity of the moment and the storytelling is all there. Now, it might not be the flashiest music video. It might not have the best color quality or whatnot, but it's dope. I think Bombs Over Bad Dad. There we go. Up. Somebody said it as soon as I said it. I think Bombs Over Bad Dad is actually that moment for Cass. That's the one that I think is their top 25. The creativity. Dave Myers did his thing on there. Shout out to Dave Myers who directed that. The creativity, it matched the sound. It looked as chaotic as the song sounded. I think them having Andre running through his verse was perfect. That video and that song got me ready for Stankonia. And somebody said, what standard? Lost Boys Renee. Again, that's another situation where the song the video kind of writes itself. And that's not to denigrate the video, but there's so many creative videos out there where like exhibits, what you see is what you get, or Farside's Drop, where it's like, do we put those over the songs that write themselves? And I think that I'm going to do that when I consider it. Oh, Natural Born Killers is crazy. What do you guys think about Santana's Town? Joel Santana, Santana's Town. I know that it came out in an era where, you know, music videos all kind of looked a certain way. And I felt like that music video kind of stood out from the rest. Should it be considered? Scenario is a great video. It captured a moment in time. I think I got Scenario on my short list for sure. What do you guys think about, because I'm crossing stuff out as we're talking. What do you guys think about Bone Thugs and Harmony's Crossroads? Is Crossroads a top 25 music video of all time? Hell no. I think Super Duper's talking about Santana's Town. Crossroads, guys. Is Crossroads a top 25? Because I want to know what the people are thinking, man. No? What about Eminem Stan? And I'm being serious here. What about Eminem Stan? I think it was a dope music video. Does Eminem have a top 25 music video of all time? Crossroads up there? Okay. So, okay. All right. I love the Crossroads love. Is Crossroads Bones' best music video? I think so. Trying to think. I personally like East 1999, the song and the video, but that's for different reasons. Again, I kind of hold these grimy videos a little high. I love Outkast's Benzo Abima music video, and we're going to get into the soundtrack countdown as well. And Benzo Abima is very, very high. Stan and My Name Is a dope video. Now, I know I made many jokes on this channel about Eminem's My Name Is song, but it's actually a pretty dope music video, especially a debut music video. I think he did a really good job on there. Now, I don't know if it's top 25. I think that might be a little high. Get At Me Dog's rawness. See, when I look at the rawness of Get At Me Dog and how it impacted everything that was going on, I think that Get At Me Dog definitely has to be there. LL Cool J I'm Bad is a classic music video. And see, that's the other part of the conversation. Where do we put music videos like Run DMC's King of Rock or Rockbox, if you will? Rockbox is the first one that got played on MTV, if I'm not mistaken. Rockbox, The Message from Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five, LL Cool J's I'm Bad. Where do we put these music videos in the scope of all of this? Breakups to makeups. I keep seeing people say Me, Myself, and I. I never looked at Me, Myself, and I as a music video like that. I've always loved the song. I love De La Soul. I never looked at it like that. I always looked at Ring Ring like that as the music video and how it had the shadows and the black and white tint. California Love for sure, man. I mean, this is what I will say about California Love, and this is where its impact is for me. When you think about it, outside of MC Hammer and the people who were big sellers on an entertainment level, because Too Legit to Quit is something else. As far as rappers in that sense, and people who weren't overall entertainers and crossover entertainers, I don't remember any big budget music videos to the level of California Love before California Love. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and correct me if I'm jumping out the window here, but when you got movie stars in here, you have a full Mad Max scene setting. It's some Hollywood shit. And who better to do it than somebody like Tupac, right? Somebody who already has that film experience at that time, who's in Hollywood, who's made movies, who's created movies, and who's been acting alongside of other movie stars. Who better to do that? But California Love definitely set the scene for everything that we see forward. I think that when you look at Tupac and his career and what he was able to do, and they always pair Tupac and Biggie up together, I understand that, and I understand why. But when you look at Hypnotize and the way that Hypnotize was put together as a music video and just the big budget, even what Puff Daddy was doing after the fact, Victory, Been Around the World. Been Around the World is a big budget music video. All of that starts with California Love. And California Love set the tone for these big budget music videos that we were about to start seeing. So I think California Love, for real, is very, very important. Fight the Power from PE. Honestly, man, I know Ron had, and I don't want to tell nobody else's list because we're still putting this list together. Ron had Night of the Living Bassheads on his list, which I was very surprised in because that's an incredible music video that, sometimes gets forgotten because we got Fight the Power out there, right? I think they have 3 music videos that could be legit on there. We got Night of the Living Bassheads. They got 911's a Joke. To me, 911's a Joke is the brilliant music video where, you got a lot going on in that music video. And then you got Fight the Power. So let me go through some of the songs on the list real quick. And y'all let me know some of the things that are left off. Because I got way more than 25 right now. This is the short list for sure. Short, long list, pause, whatever. And let me know what shouldn't be on there. I got All Falls Down right now. I got California Love right now. I think y'all got California Love staying, right? I think All Falls Down more than likely is going to stay. I got Tyler, the Creator, Yonkers on here right now. Let me know what y'all think about that. And just put in the chat what y'all think should go and what, you know what I'm saying, it should stay. Right now on the short list, I got Run DMC, King of Rock. I got The Message, Grandmaster Flash and Furious 5. On the short list right now, I got Childish Gambino, This Is America. It kind of had the internet in a chokehold for a second. It's very creative, shot very well, acted out very well. You know, it was being replayed all over the place. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to Mad Max. Got Mad Max in the building. Yeah, Yonkers was big in the time. Like, Yonkers set the tone for Tyler's whole career. And Yonkers is a dope music video. Call it whatever you want. All right. Now I got Ice Cube's Good Day. I think that's staying. I got Farside Dropped. I got Night of the Living Bassheads here. Public Enemy. I have Lauryn Hill's Doo Wop on here. Let me know what y'all think about that too. I got Outkast, Bonds of a Bad Dad. I got Ghetto Boys, Mind Playing Tricks on Me. Speaking of the Ghetto Boys, I do think that A Minute to Pray, A Second to Die from Scarface could get consideration here. I also think that Damn It Feels Good to Be a Gangster from the Ghetto Boys could get consideration here. Fight the Power is here. Sabotage is here. Sabotage and Fight the Power ain't going nowhere. What do y'all think about Biz Markie, Just a Friend? I'm going to leave the check off on that. What do you think about Dr. Dre's G thing? Want to know what people think about that. Runaway from Kanye West. We got to clarify this Runaway thing. When we're talking about Runaway, we're talking about the whole film, because he called the whole film Runaway. It wasn't just the music video for that song. It was a whole mixture and compilation of songs from My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, if you will. Hate Me Now. What did y'all think about Hate Me Now's music video? You know what? Let's get the elephant out the room. I want to ask you guys, does Jay-Z or Nas have a top 25 hip-hop music video all time? Mad Max in the super chat says, get Yonkers off, Mike. Son ate a cockroach, and it's disrespectful to my side of town. Pac, I Ain't Mad at You is better. He said Pac, I Ain't Mad at You is better on here. I like Pac, I Ain't Mad at You on here. I like that. With the Red Fox, because Red Fox had just passed at the time, and they got him seeing Red Fox and all these other people in heaven, and the music video was released after Pac's passing, or after his murder, excuse me, and people were kind of like, what's going on? We always thought, like, did he predict this? But yeah, and it's really him in it. It's not like, they had somebody playing him or anything. B Moolah with the super chat says, Diamonds from Sierra Leone, Kanye West. Woo! What do y'all think about Kanye West's Diamonds being on here? Let's see, Kanye. What did y'all think about Gold Digger as a music video? I thought it was pretty creative, but I don't know if it's top 25. I think he's done better work. And I'm sure that he would say that too. Okay. So yeah, we got to clarify the Runaway thing. And obviously, we're talking the Jay and Nas thing. Okay, yeah. Does Jay and Nas have a top 25 hip-hop music video all time? I'm seeing some of the stuff in the chat. I don't know, guys. I Can is nice. One Mic, I think, could get some consideration. One Mic. Okay, all right. I'm going to see what we can do with One Mic and see what it comes down to. I think One Mic might be Nas's best entry, unless you want to go. I mean, my personal favorite Nas video is It Ain't Hard to Tell. But again, I think the song has something to do with that. And I think that the griminess of that has something to do with it. Jay-Z. What's Jay-Z's best music video, and which Jay-Z video do you think is the top 25 hip-hop music video all time? Y'all think Big Pimpin'? I like Street Dreams music video as well. I like that one a lot. I don't know if it's top two. Ooh, Made You Look. Shit. Again, guys, y'all already see how I look in music videos. When you say stuff like Made You Look, Ice Cream, Shadow Boxing, I'm all in. But again, I think that the song has a lot to do with that. Made You Look, you know what? I'm sorry, guys. Made You Look on One Mic. I'm gonna have to put that in the poll. What's the better music video? Made You Look on One Mic. Let's do that real quick while we're talking about this, because I don't want this to drag on. No pun intended. What's better? Yeah. One Love's good too. All right. I'll put One Love in the chat too. I'll put all right, this is what we're gonna do on the poll. I'm gonna add an option here. We're gonna have 3 options here. We're gonna have one mic, and you can only pick one. One mic. One Love, and Make You Look. Which one you picking? Take the caps off on that. All right, let's see what people say, and whatever one y'all pick, man, we'll get that. We'll get that in the consideration. So B Mula says One Love, Nas. I like the One Love pick. I think that's a dope music video. Everybody's saying One Mic though. Quiet Storm remix. Whew. No, the regular one. I'm sorry, LP. Quiet Storm regular music video is pretty crazy. Okay, I'm looking at the poll right now. We got 26 votes. I'm gonna let this one get to 100. Thumbs up in the chat, guys. Let's get more people in the room. Shout out to everybody in the room. We're gonna start talking about this. I was talking about this Kendrick "They Not Like Us" music video. I'm gonna get to that in a second too. But we're talking about the all-time greatest music videos and what makes a great hip-hop music video. Looks like Made You Look is winning. One Mic has 39%. One Love has 21%. And Made You Look has 41%. But we'll let this one go up to 100. But yeah, what about Jay? Does Jay have a all-time great music video? Or what is his best music video? I mean, we could just say as simple as that. Streets is watching. I see Streets is watching in the chat. Let me see from my personal opinion. When we go to Reasonable Doubt, I love Can't Knock the Hustle. It's a dope music video. I like Imaginary Player. I don't know if I can say if it's his best music video. Jigga What, Jigga Who. I don't really know what Jay-Z's best music video is. The Rock Boys, Run This Town. Hard Knock Life. Y'all really think I like Hard Knock Life? I think it's dope. I think it's but it's not a top 25 music video all the time. Yeah. 99 Problems. That was the first one that kind of popped in my mind. I don't think that's a top 25 music video all time either. Let's see. Let's look at the Blueprint. Girls had a video. What do y'all think about Song Cry's video? Massive Pills, hard. Bring the Pain, Method Man. We're gonna get to Wu-Tang in a second. Song Cry as a music video? Nah. I always thought the song was better than the video. He had 2 music videos on the Blueprint 2. That was the Bonnie and Clyde with him and Beyonce. And Excuse Me Miss. Now, Excuse Me Miss, though, I'm not saying it's top 25. Give me a second with Excuse Me Miss. It changed the way everybody dressed. Like, that was the video that got everybody buttoning it up. Like, I know he said that on What More Can I Say? I don't wear jerseys, I'm 30 plus, but the visual for that where Jay made people take their throwbacks off and put on suits and put the button-ups on and all that, that comes from Excuse Me Miss. And I will say that was a very impactful music video. Let me get back to the rest of the list, though, because y'all naming some of the stuff that's on here. All right, so we got Vibrant Thing on here so far. And to speak to the impact of Vibrant Thing, in my personal opinion, you guys know I'm a Q-Tip guy anyway. Shout out to Hype Williams for this music video, which was an incredible music video. I feel like the wave of video vixens that we ended up getting in the upcoming years after Vibrant Thing comes from Vibrant Thing. Now, granted, I'm not sitting here saying that, there weren't women in music videos before Vibrant Thing, but to actually center music videos around individual models that everybody was looking for after that, like, yo, who is that? Who is that? Like, I feel like the first time I was really like, who is that lady right there was Vibrant Thing. And Gloria Velez is in Vibrant Thing as well. And it set off a wave that continued on, even for Q-Tip. I mean, after he did Vibrant Thing, he did Breathe and Stop. which is another dope music video. So I think that the impact of Vibrant Thing is, it's there. But I think when Vibrant Thing hit initially, because of the legacy of Tribe and how incredible Tribe's legacy was and how opposite it was from Vibrant Thing, I don't think Vibrant Thing got the proper appreciation in the moment. But I think time has been very kind to not only that song, but the music video as well. So Rump Shake. You know what? Quick story about Rump Shaker before I move on to the next song. I played saxophone in high school. It's actually where I met Ron. He was in my section as well. He was a grade lower than me. He played alto sax as well. And one of my inspirations for actually picking up the saxophone in 6th grade and becoming a saxophone player was the Rump Shaker music video. And come to find out, the woman that was playing well, not really playing, but that had the saxophone like she was playing on the beach is now Bobby Brown's wife. So shout out to her. She got me into band and got me to playing the saxophone. And shout out to Rex and Effect and Teddy Riley and Pharrell and whoever else was involved in Rump Shaker. All right. On the short list, I have Method Man's All I Need. I can see that one going away because you know what? All I Need is a great video, but I think it's an even better song. That image of Method Man and Mary there, it sticks in your head forever because who these individuals were and who they became even after that. And I'm with Super Duper. Sometimes we're picking our favorite artists and not the best music videos. And I think that All I Need is one of those moments. So I can take that off. I do think Shimmy Shimmy is an incredible music video. I think Brooklyn Zoo is an incredible music video as well. All right. So I'm going to take this off. I'm going to take All I Need off reluctantly, but I just got to be fair. Got Juvenile High. That's up for discussion for sure. Juvenile's High is up for discussion for sure. Bone Thugs and Harmony, Crossroads, incredible music video. I think it's their best music video, but I don't know if it's going to make it in the final cut. Biggie's One More Chance remix. Do you guys think that, I want to ask people that. Do you think Biggie's One More Chance remix is the top 25 music video all time? Hip-hop music video. Do we think that, I got this on the short list too. I got Sir Mix-a-Lot, Baby Got Back. The impact, the notoriety. And I'm not mad if people don't think that should be on the list. Slick Rick's A Children's Story. Yeah, say no to Baby Got Back. All right. Slick Rick's A Children's Story, I think, from the storytelling aspect, how's What's My Name not on the list? You talking about Snoop or you talking about DMX? Both great music videos. Let Me Ride's pretty great too. A Children's Story definitely should be on. I got Exhibits, What You See Is What You Get. And spoiler alert here, I think that a video like Exhibits, What You See Is What You Get is going to be more so how I'm rating or ranking these music videos. I think that a music video like that is a pretty good litmus test for what a great music video should be. Because my biggest thing here was how do we really quantify what a great music video is in hip hop? And to me, Exhibits, What You See Is What You Get is probably a litmus test for that. I got Today Is a Good Day. I think Today Is a Good Day is the other side of that as well. That's a great music video, but again, it's a situation where the music video kind of writes itself based on how great that the song was written and how well the song was executed as well. So those are kind of two litmus tests there and how those things are going to come together. I got Kanye West Power. I don't know if that's going to make the final cut. I got 911's a Joke. Public Enemy. I don't know if that's going to make the final cut either. I Ain't No Joke. Eric B. and Rakim. Incredible music video. Cream from Wu-Tang. You can't even, what can you say? It's Cream. I mean, you see those still images, you already know what it is, man. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, Get the Money. Get At Me, Dog. DMX. Get At Me, Dog. That's making the list. I'm already gonna kind of circle that one. I think Flavor in Your Ear remix got that on the short list. The Roots, What They Do. I want to say something about The Roots, What They Do. I think that at the time, that music video was well ahead of the curve. We could also say something about You Got Me as well. I think that's another music video that it kind of it was genre bending, but it was also just forward thinking in the genre. You look at a music video like You Got Me or What They Do, these guys were different. And even listening to the message on What They Do with the hooks, like never do what they do, they took the concept of that song, looked at the climate of what was going on in hip hop at the time, and actually visualized what the problem was and sonically gave you the solution. And I think that music video definitely is top 25, but I think it needs to be held super high because we don't have other artists calling out the problems in the music through the music and coming with the solution through the music. So shout out to The Roots for that, man. What an incredible music video. I know a lot of people said it was about Biggie. Kind of looked like it was about Bad Boy and what they were doing at the time, but I think it was just about a copycat league. Like, Phil Jackson famously always says that the NBA is a copycat league. Whoever wins the world championship, whoever wins the NBA championship, everybody's going to go out there and try to do what that team is doing. And in hip hop, same thing. If somebody else is out here winning, then everybody's going to go out there and try to duplicate what that person that's winning is doing. And The Roots just called that out with What They Do. And I don't think it was just specifically about Bad Boy, even though they were part of it. I think it was about everybody who was trying to follow in those footsteps as well. So incredible music video. Straight Outta Compton. See, I struggled with this one, between this one and Express Yourself, because these are big moments where like kicking down the door moments. I think I would rather go Straight Outta Compton because that is not only a kick down the door moment, it's like kicking down the door and hitting you in your face at the same time. So I'm gonna go with Straight Outta Compton. What do you guys think about the Fugees, Ready or Not? Ready or Not's interesting to me because growing up with the Fugees and watching the Fugees continuously evolve and elevate throughout their career, the moment they really, really start selling records on a massive level, and when they start selling records like crazy. You could tell it on Ready or Not. Like, you saw the budget increase. And those are some things that you just don't see anymore in music, where you see an artist start off with their first single, and their first single is Modest or whatever, because Fuji Lie is a nice music video, extremely creative. But, you could tell that the budget was, standard artist budget, because they're coming off of London on Reality, and Columbia's like, look, we're gonna get them the budget as it goes. But you could tell when that person blows up and start making some money and start selling some records, like, oh, the budget just opened up. Ready or Not's that moment where the budget opened up for sure. And it's a cinematic moment for the Fugees and really one of our lasting memories of that great collective. So, I think Ready or Not could get some sort of consideration, but let me know what y'all think about that. This is the one to me, and this is another one of those defining ones. Busta Rhymes, Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See. Now, I've often referred to this music video as hip hop's Thriller. And y'all know me, I'm a Michael Jackson guy. I would never disrespect Michael Jackson. But Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See, to me, is hip hop being taken visually to that next level. And Busta was the guy to do it. Hype Williams was the director to do it. And they didn't really I think they took the rhythmic cadence that was going on in that calypso style song and they thought Africa, and then somewhere in their mind took them to Coming to America. Now, I would love to hear a breakdown on how this came together. I don't know if it's, on YouTube somewhere. I don't know if someone even, just hasn't put together that little docu-series, a documentary yet. But when you look at that music video and and what it looks like visually and how captivating it is, how captivating Busta is, how captivating the imagery is from the background and everything in that setting, it's fucking phenomenal. Like, hip hop is one of those things where if you get choreography involved, it's a slippery slope, right? It could look really corny or it could look really great. And Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See handled that and made it look theatrical and dope without feeling corny on any level. And I love the Busta and Janet music video, and I knew people were going to mention that. I think it just cost a lot. It's a dope music video. I don't know if it's top 25. Definitely with the budget, it's top 25. But I don't know. Go look at that music video again. I mean, it has some technology that I don't think aged that well. At the time, our minds were blown. But now when you look at, from a technological standpoint is where that video shines, it doesn't wow you as much as it once did. In 1998, yes, it was the top 25 music video all time. But in 2024, I'm not so sure. Michael Williams with the super chat says, Common Pete Rock haven't missed. Fortunate might be my favorite so far. They seem like a lock for album of the year. Nas and Premier are going to have to level up for sure. And I'm looking forward to Friday. We're talking to some people in my camp. And hopefully we can get a full-on celebration with this Common and Pete Rock. But what we're hearing right now, it does sound like album of the year type stuff. And I'm looking forward to actually, I won't say opening up the package, but actually, taking in this dope new music. We got another super chat. Mad Max says, DMX slipping. I like DMX slipping. A lot. I got to think about that. I saw Murder Was the Case in here too. I got to think about that one too. All right, Mad Max says, DMX slipping, ASAP Rocky Pesto, started from the bottom, Drake, 50 Cent Mini Man, Ludacris Move It, Pusha T Exodus or Clips Grinding, Boondocks intro, I don't care. That opening's fire. Let's examine some of this. What do you guys think about Mini Man? What do you guys think about 50 Cent's Mini Man? I think it's a dope music video. Does 50 Cent have a top 25 music video all time? I don't really know. Grinding, again, I think that's the power of the song. Does Drake have a top 25? Hotline Bling was big. Hotline Bling was huge. And so was God's Plan. Hold on one second. I don't want people to stop, interrupting. Yeah, and so was God's Plan. God's Plan was huge. I don't know if Drake has one. Militia video was great. Missy, She's a Bitch was dope. But yeah, Juice Crew Symphony, I like that too. Best I ever had. Hotline Bling isn't hip hop. Okay. All right. What we do, straight out of Compton, ready to get out. All right, Put Your Hands Where My Eyes Can See. Yeah, I think that's the opus, man. What do you guys think about? Because Ron was texting me this. He said 21 Savage a lot. Oh, there it is. LP says 21 a lot. Drake God's Plan. Laugh Now. Kendrick Lamar's All Right. What do you guys think about 21 Savage a lot with J. Cole? Is that a top 25 hip hop music video all time? A Tribe Called Quest scenario. Poll everything. Listen. Snoop. Murder Was the Case, I think, is I think that could get that consideration. Missy the Rain, and I got on the short list, I got Diddy's Victory. I think Victory was somewhere else, but Been Around the World could easily be in that spot too. So these are all considerations. Okay, people say Victory is top 25. I think so. Again, I know that California Love started the big budgets, and I don't want to say that the big budgets make anything because I would be contradicting myself when it comes to the Busta thing, but Victory was massive. But I'm biased to music too. Victory is also a great song. So I want to see what the people are thinking, and we'll put together this list. Now, all of these lists that's been put together, we're going to actually, have some Spotify playlists for you guys probably by this weekend and get those together so you can kind of, vibe to them at the same time. Now, I know this is a little different because this is more about the visuals and all you're getting is the audio, but you're going to have the audio to be able to visualize. Now, back to Kendrick, right? Went on that long tangent to say, Not Like Us is a dope music video. And I think it's one of the better music videos that we've seen in a minute. Hold on one second. Yeah, it's one of the better music videos I think we've seen in a minute. He hit all cylinders on there. Now, Kendrick, his approach to music videos, he's always done really dope music videos, dating all the way back to Section 80. But his approach now seems to be scene changing. And I saw a lot of vintage type of influence in this music video because what he was doing was giving you a feel in each scene, right? He was giving you you got the streets, you got In Front of Tams, you got like the whole, suited up thing. I'm trying to think who his music video approach more mirrors. And he has some Busta Rhymes in him when it comes to that. And he has some Missy in him when it comes to that too, where they're very active and he's very interactive with the visuals. Busta Rhymes' music videos really worked because Busta was incredibly energetic. Busta had the facial expressions that went with it. He was like, he would buck his eyes, he would be all in the camera, and he would do a lot of things that most MCs at that time just physically just couldn't or wouldn't do. And I see, Kendrick in this music video, like he's hopscotching with the, with the walk, the C-walk, bopping, and he's really engaging with the record. Now, this might be his biggest song, guys. I'm trying to watch myself here. Am I tripping? Is this possibly Kendrick Lamar's biggest song? It doesn't even feel like a diss record anymore. It just feels like a record. And when I was listening to it while I'm watching the music video, I'm like, I didn't even think about it being a Drake diss record anymore. This just feels like a single. And even the record that he had before the song started, this feels like a single. And so saying all that to say, I hear there's a remix coming. I don't know how true this is. I hear it's going to be like one of those One Blood situations where it's a bunch of people on it. They're going to do a music video for that, I heard as well. This feels like his biggest song. And with that being said, man, I don't think it's unreasonable for people to expect an album following this song. And in a minute, man, I mean, you got to capitalize on the moment. That's what music is. That's what music is about. Got to capitalize on the moment. And there's no problem with capitalizing on the moment. It's just what you do. And you have a song that's this big. Where's the album? And I think we need an album. I mean, I'm not trying to be that guy or sound like that because y'all know I've done this before when it comes to Kendrick. When Mr. Morale was coming, I think it's the perfect time to actually drop an album. And this is basically the first single. Because, like I said, this doesn't really feel like a Drake diss record anymore. It's just a single. It's a big song. King T'Challa's in the building. He says 93 Till Infinity. Dope music video. I love it. I mean, it just feels like a single, and it's everywhere. You got presidential, I want to say presidential candidates. You got the vice president out here quoting this record. This song is everywhere, and this is the music business. And Interscope, as I've said on this channel before, I think they excel in the music side, in the business side of the music better than anybody. I would expect them to capitalize on this moment with an artist like Kendrick. It's not every day that Kendrick Lamar has the biggest song of the year. And I'm not even just talking about hip hop. This could be the biggest song of 2024 so far. And not only that, it's from your artist who is known for making great albums. And it's from an institution in Interscope that is known to capitalize on the moment. And they're known for actually rolling out albums properly. So I would expect that Kendrick drops an album really, really soon. And if he doesn't drop an album, honestly, man, the next couple of weeks, I think this is probably one of the biggest missed opportunities that I've seen in Interscope history, because this is a big song. And he could easily follow this up. I mean, we've seen what he's been creating throughout this whole back and forth with Drake. And so with the music video behind it on top of that, you just feel like an album has to be on the way. What's the point of actually putting out a music video for a diss record anyway? Like, what's the point of doing that if you don't have an album on the way? Because traditionally, we don't get music videos for diss records. We get music videos for singles. And look at Dre with Dre Day. We got a music video for Dre Day because that was the single. Same thing for Compton motherfucking G's, Eazy-E. That was a single. We got music videos for that because that was attached to an album to sell an album. Anytime you got a diss record that's not really attached to an album like that, you don't really get a music video for it. So if we're getting a music video and they're doing remixes and possibly doing a music video for that, you got a song that he started off the Not Like Us music video with, it's like, yo, an album has to be on the way. Now, right now, we got Common and Pete Rock in the running for the possible album of the year. What I'm going to say is, man, we may be getting a Kendrick Lamar album in the next couple of weeks. I'm going to make a bold prediction and say we're going to get a Kendrick Lamar album in the next couple of weeks. If I know that this guy dislikes Drake in the way, to the level that he does, the one way to really put Drake to pasture, if that's what this is about in Kendrick's mind, is to complete the cycle with an album. You already did what you did with those records that you put out in that battle in that short period of time. Stopped Family Matters in this track by dropping Meet the Grams 30 minutes later, and then drop They're Not Like Us less than 24 hours later. Complete the cycle, make a great album, make an album that is connected to the streets, it sounds like, because that was the other thing that got my antennas up about that record that Kendrick performed right before Not Like Us. It's like, yo, man, he's really taking it to the streets with this stuff. This ain't, no disrespect, because y'all know I love To Pimp a Butterfly. This is not the artsy fartsy Kendrick. This is Kendrick that is out here making stuff for Compton, making stuff that people are going to ride around playing in their speakers. Now, Jay Short, shout out to him. I know he's not on the show right now. Jay Short has constantly gotten in our chat saying that, and Jay Short's from the West Coast for the people who don't know, constantly gotten in our chat saying, man, people in LA ain't playing Kendrick like that. And I think that's when Kendrick focuses on making album material and making full, complete works. This stuff that Kendrick is putting out now, and I'm talking about the song before Not Like Us and Not Like Us, this is stuff that they're playing in Cali. I ain't in Cali this summer, but based on what I know and based on how I know Cali rocks, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, the people in our room right now that are out in Cali, I'm pretty sure they're playing this stuff. And if Kendrick comes with an album full of stuff like this, I think that sets a tone and makes a statement. I mean, he's proven to us that he can make albums and complete pieces of work. Now, man, like, he's proven that he can make bangers. And if you make a banger like this, man, follow it up with a record. Why not? Yeah, I mean, listen, I think he should. I think he has it in him. I think him and Mustard are working together on possibly multiple records. That's the other thing, guys. Him and Mustard put this together. It's their first time working together that I've heard. And correct me if I'm wrong. There might be some other stuff that didn't get released, but I think that Mustard and Kendrick might be their first collab. If it is, you knock it out the box like this first time, you don't just go your separate ways. You're back in the studio saying like, yo, man, we need to work on some more stuff. Look at Hit Boy and Nas, what they did. They went out there and was able to make magic, no pun intended, with King's Disease. And from what we understand, that was supposed to be a one-off situation too, with just a couple of records. And then it's like, yo, the synergy's there. Oh, we're in the lab. Next thing you know, we got an album. Next thing you know, a couple of months later, we got another album. Next thing you know what? We got magic coming out. And so, yeah, I think what Kendrick and Mustard got going on works for both of them. I think they need each other at this time. Now, granted, they both have incredible careers without one another, but I think they need each other. I think that Kendrick needs Mustard for the bangers, and I think Mustard needs Kendrick to prove that he can make full albums and make a full great album and have some timeless material with an all-time great MC. No disrespect to YG. I think YG's great at what he does, but, Kendrick Lamar, he has the West Coast on his back currently. Shit, the whole rap game on his back right now, too. Really, man, I don't know how Kendrick feels about J. Cole right now, but Kendrick dropping an album with Not Like Us being the first single or riding off of the momentum of Not Like Us, Kendrick doing that, it totally dismantles any notion of any big three, any debate of any J. Cole or Drake stuff. I mean, it does. And he's already had the albums in his back pocket in relation to his peers. But if he's able to follow up a big song like this with more big songs and with more bangers and stuff that people are going to be playing throughout, oh man, the conversation's over. Now it's about comparing him to the all-time greats now, legitimately. And I don't think anybody's going to test Kendrick on the mic anymore either. So getting one body is going to be enough for him, because I don't think that's going to happen again. Actually, he got two bodies in this situation. My man, J. Cole, bowing out in the way he did, Kendrick still called a body. I mean, Cole ducked him. Let's call it what it is. I love Cole. I think Cole's an incredible artist. I think Cole's building an incredible legacy. I think he's an all-time great. I think that he's achieved things that MCs just dream to achieve. But he ducked the fade when it came to Kendrick. And with Kendrick handling the situation in the way that he did when it came to Drake, it makes it clear that he ducked the fade. If this would have went the other way, like if somehow this would have been more comparable or Drake would have won in some parallel universe or whatever, it wouldn't have looked like that for Cole. It would have looked like, you know what? He just didn't want to be a part of what was going on, the negativity, all the stuff that he said. But the optics of it now, with Kendrick doing what he did and the way that he did it, it looks like Cole ducked the fade. And I think that's what history is going to tell. And it's unfortunate because Cole has worked so hard to become the guy in his era. And now because of this one moment of, I don't want to say weakness, but one moment of doubt over a 48-hour period, it's never going to happen. There's nothing that Cole can do at this point to redeem what has been done. And it didn't even have to be done. That's the problem. The problem is, man, he could have stayed out of this altogether as opposed to getting in it and backing out hours later. And I don't know if Cole thought, Kendrick's probably going to do the same thing and maybe I'm going to be peacemaker and this and that. But no, that wasn't going to happen. Whenever you make big time decisions in front of the world, and I know Cole knows this now, and this is probably revisionist history, and well, not revisionist history. This is Monday morning quarterbacking is what it is. Oh, Cole knows this now. Whenever you're making big decisions in front of the world like that, you got to factor in like, yo, not only how is this going to work out? How is this going to play out if the other guy doesn't do this? What Cole did, he made a decision that only allowed for one thing to happen. Like, he allowed a situation where the whole room was going to collapse on him. We got Ron in the building. Ron's picture just popped up. Ron, you in the building? Oh, he went away for a second. Oh, 1 second. Yeah. Anyway, you don't make decisions where you're playing chess here, right? You want to make a move where it's going to put that other person in a position to make another move. What Cole did, he made a move where nobody had to make a move and he was going to lose. And that was the confusing part. Like, you made a move that allowed whoever the other person on the other side was to not have to make a move at all, and you still lose. And it was unfortunate, and I don't think that it was well thought out. I don't think he should have gotten in the first place, but unfortunately, he's become the I don't want to say it like this because I like Cole, man, but unfortunately, he's become the biggest loser in this situation because at least somebody could take away from Drake. Let's just say somebody is a Drake fan. They could say, yo, he put out some dope records. And they could say that, you know, he put up a great, you know what I'm saying, bout. Some could even be delusional enough to say that they think he won or whatever. Or his records were factual. But when it comes to J. Cole, like, what can you say? Rigger 49 with a super chat says, F the big three, it's just big me. Yeah. And, you know, Drake could also hold his hat and say that, you know, he got his biggest record dissing me, you know, but what exactly did Cole lose? I mean, you guys could talk about that in the chat. What do y'all think? I mean, what did Cole lose? I think this is what I'm gonna say. I think Cole lost a lot of momentum. And for the people who've been following this show and who've been following this channel, we appreciate you. Hit like and subscribe, thumbs up in the chat, and all those things. But Cole had been building up a level of momentum since KOD. And even when he dropped, you know, his last album, he still kept going with the features. The features kept getting better and better. You could hear the momentum. You could hear the hunger. Even with his most recent project, he's rapping at a very high level. And I think that something like this unnecessarily diverted his momentum. And for a lot of people, I'm not saying me, but just for a lot of people, the level of respect that they had for him as an MC and as somebody who would mix it up, because we all know this back and forth was not going to get physical. We weren't looking for anything like that. Nobody even thought that a Cole and Kendrick battle would go to the streets. This is all on wax, right? So when you duck a situation like this unnecessarily, a lot of people are like, what? Like, especially the people that were on the team, like people who are Cole fans and were waiting for this moment, and who have always said to Kendrick fans, yo, man, Cole's better than Kendrick, blah, blah, blah. In a moment like this, it's like, yo, dude, you just let us all down. Talk about letting Nas down. And I think Nas is such a great example here, because Nas has always been thought of in many circles and pockets as the conscious MC in relation to him and Jay. Nas was willing to mix it up. And he got out there on that battlefront in a time in his life where he could have said, you know, I don't want to deal with all of this. He went out there, and not only did he mix it up, he turned the tables, he flipped the table, he demolished the whole crew and one of the greatest MCs ever. And he still was able to remain conscious. And he still was able to remain the guy that had a sense of empowerment and Black empowerment. And it was all in the spirit of hip hop and the sport. And so I think a lot of people will look at what J. Cole did and be like, why? I mean, I hear what he's saying, and maybe he didn't have the stomach for it, and that's fine, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody has the stomach for battle. Not everybody's gonna go out there and be Dennis Rodman. That's not everybody's game. I get that, but Kendrick let everybody know that's his game. And whenever it comes time to comparing the two, it ain't no comparison anymore, to be honest. I mean, you can like one better than the other, but it's going to be very difficult to convince somebody that Kendrick's not the best in this generation. He just took Drake, I don't want to say off the map, because I do think Drake's going to recover from this. But he's knocked Drake down a peg in a similar way that Nas knocked Jay down a peg. And J. Cole got knocked all the way down the peg. And that's just to be honest. And when it comes to that music video being shot on top of that, this is a diss record that might have longer legs than any other diss record because it doesn't even feel like a diss record anymore. And this is something that Drake actually was known for because that's what he did with Back to Back. Back to Back was a banger. It didn't even really feel like a diss record that much anymore because you heard it so much. This is that times 3. Not Like Us is probably the biggest, not only hip hop song, like I said, it's probably the biggest song of 2024. And at this point, it's not even because of who it's about. It might have started like that. But now this song's actually, living on its own. I agree with Still Here. I appreciate your love and you know the engagement still here. People can change their mind. And Cole may have changed his mind mid-stride, but he's also going to have to live with everything that comes with changing your mind. I think he made a bad decision by even jumping in this. If he wasn't ready and willing to totally take it there. Mad Max of the Super Chat says he lost respect, LOL. He is no MC. He's not an MC and not like me, dying on the sword. That's like, what did he say? No MC, like me, dying on the sword for Cole. You are no longer welcome to rock him in my birthday. No more, sucker. I think he's saying he's not dying on the sword for Cole no more because, yeah, man, Max used to cake for Cole. And listen, man, I hope somehow Cole can recover because one of the topics of this show is the recovery of Drake. I don't think Drake's going to have any issue recovering. Drake can make a hit record. He still, got Spotify streams, breaking records. He's the most played on Spotify for the month of June. He just did that. He's got records everywhere. Younger people or younger artists have no problems collaborating with Drake. Drake can make another hit. I think the person we need to really talk about, being able to recover from this is Cole, because I don't really know what Cole does. We need a great feature from Cole very soon. And the other thing is the momentum that Cole and Drake were building together. I think that's fizzled, and I don't know what Cole and Drake's, I don't want to say relationship, but yeah, what's their musical relationship like now? And what does that look like for Cole? It looks like, from the outside looking in, it looks like Cole left Drake hanging on all levels. Not saying that they were supposed to gang up on Kendrick or anything, but you put your diss records out there, you apologized for it. You know what I'm saying? You say you didn't want to do it, whatever. And when those missiles came at Drake, and Drake sent them missiles to Kendrick, he literally stayed all the way out of it. And, to some degree, Drake could look at that as like, wow, he just left me hanging. And not only that, because it wasn't just Kendrick. It'd be one thing if it was just Kendrick and Cole, or Ross and these guys jump in. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody starts piling up on Drake, and the guy that you just took on tour with you and Cole is just sitting there letting this happen. Listen, I have, and this is just me, got love for Wayne too. I think it's interesting that Wayne is letting the whole game pile up on Drake like this. And I don't know. It just looks odd. It looks odd that, not saying that Wayne's supposed to jump in and, you know what I'm saying, and defend Drake or whatever, but you would think that Wayne would be able to, you know, get Ross and Future and people like that to chill. And the fact that Wayne's not saying anything about it is very odd, you know, because especially when you talk about the fact that one of the whole Pusha T thing, and Drake got in the Pusha T mix for defending Wayne. It kind of reminds you of back in the day when Cam got in the mix up with 50 Cent, because essentially he was defending Jim Jones and Jim Jones being on Koch, if you remember correctly. A lot of that started from that phone call that that Cam made when 50 was on Angie Martinez's show at Hot 97. And 50 was talking about he could stop Koch projects from coming out. And at the time, Jim Jones was the guy that was on Koch on Dipset. And that's why Cam called in like, yo, I'm hearing you can stop projects from Koch. And so, long story short, they got into the whole back and forth just based on those initial statements. And here comes Jim Jones kind of siding with 50 in certain ways. And it looks weird. You know what I'm saying? Mad Max in the super chat says, Drake is the undisputed best of all the generations, Mike. It's not debatable. People, they kiss and the game. I'm sorry, he said people, they kiss and game killed 50. 50 still more remember than either of them, specifically Game. I mean, stop it. Drake is undisputed best of the generation. Mike, it's not debatable. People that kiss and Game killed 50. Listen, speaking of the Game, when this Eminem album drops Friday, I don't hear any disses towards the Game from Eminem, I might just cut the album off. Now I'm gonna listen to it because I got to, and I got to talk about it on the show, and I got to converse with you guys about it. And you know what? I need to listen to this Eminem album more than anybody else, because I talk all that shit about him and his album making and how much of a cliff that he's fallen off of and how he's not a top whatever. So I'm gonna listen to the album, but that conversation about, you know, nobody want to battle Eminem and this and that, man, that shit's been over. I think that was over after MGK beat him in the battle. And then Benzino sent 2 diss records his way after something that M started. Eminem's out here trying to diss Melly Mel, but you will not look Game's way. And this is really interesting. So I'm looking forward to possibly hearing Eminem respond to the Black Slim Shady, a year and a half later? That was a long time ago, man. That was a very, very long time ago. Mad Max in the super chat says, you gonna learn. People who think Dot is like that are the 30 and up crowd. People who are 25 will tell you Future is straight up better than Dot. He ain't beloved like that. Not in the Black community. Are you saying that Kendrick's not beloved in the Black community? That's interesting, Mad Max. I don't know about that, man. So, you guys telling me people 30 and down don't consider Kendrick to be on top of his generation? I mean, Max, I don't know how you're getting to that. Well, okay, who is at the top of the generation? You said Future? And I love Future. I'm from the A, and I think Future has earned his crown. Future has done it through work. He has put out mixtape after mixtape, but an album after album. But when it comes to the rap stuff, man, it's really no comparison. I don't think Future would even tell anybody that he's a better rapper than Kendrick. Is it one of those things where this generation doesn't really care about the rapping, it's more about making songs? If that's the argument, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get that, because people like Gunna, per se, like, it's not really about the rapping, it's about the music that he's making, or the melodies and harmonizing that he's doing. So I get that, if that's what it's about. But the 30 and up crowd is probably listening to rapping for the rap shit. And when it comes to the rapping things, you know, Kendrick is the guy of his generation on a mainstream level. Now, if you want to make the argument that just album for album, somebody like a Freddie Gibbs album collection or catalog could rival what Kendrick has done, I mean, that's a decent argument. But I do think, man, when you look at Kendrick's album arsenal, when you got Section 80, and we don't even have to go the overly dedicated, but we can start at Section 80. We can go to Good Kid, Mad City, which is something not a lot of people have, period, especially a lot of people in this generation. And then you look at To Pimp a Butterfly, and then you look at Damn, and then you look at Mr. Morale. I mean, even if Mr. Morale is not everything that they're saying it is, his other 4 albums, man, like, nobody in his generation really can do that. Mad Max in the super chat says, not the kids who are 25 like that. Well, who are they listening to, though? And this is the thing, though, Mad Max. When you're young, you listen to a lot of stuff. There was a lot of stuff that I go back and listen to that I used to listen to when I was younger, and I'm like, I can't believe I used to like that. But when they get older, I think they're going to probably appreciate Kendrick's music a little bit more. When that 25 and under crowd becomes 35 and older, do you think they're going to be listening to Future's music, or do you think they're going to be listening to Kendrick's music? And I think those are legitimate questions to ask, because, and not to disregard, what the 25 and under crowd likes and what they rock with, but you also have to think about what's really going to grow on you. And I think that Kendrick does a really good job of making music that's going to grow with you. Now, saying all that to say, this gentleman that is dropping on Friday, Eminem, that's a problem that he faces as well. He made a lot of music that younger people liked when it was happening. And when they got older, they don't like it like that anymore. Like, when you were a teenager, yeah, you could go listen to Hi, My Name Is, or listen to Kim, or listen to I'm Slim Shady, yes, I'm the real Shady. But when you're 35, you can't really listen to those songs in the same way. It's like, how did he start? It was like Pam, Tommy just burst in the door, start whooping her ass first and foremost. It's like you try to rap along to that when you're 35, it just doesn't work. Man, Max to the super chat says, Mike, Future is beloved by the 20 and under crowd. I can believe it, as he should be. But will he be that beloved by the 25 and under crowd when that 25 and under crowd is 35 and older, or even 30 and over? Because your music palette actually grows, and and your tastes change. And some of the stuff that you liked when you were younger, like I say this all the time. When I listen to Fantastic by Slum Village, I'm like, I can't believe I was listening to this in high school. And I'm proud of my high school self for listening to such a masterfully produced and masterfully made album. And we were listening to the Roots, what they do. We were listening to You Got Me and things like that. But we also listened to the ratchet shit too. Now, saying all that to say, some of the stuff that, you listen to on the ratchet side of things, when you get older, you're like, I can't believe I listened to that, and you laugh and you won't listen to it again. But some of the stuff like The Roots Never Do What They Do, or, Slum Village is fantastic, you can listen to in your 30s and your 40s, and you can have that nostalgic feel with it, and it actually grows and gets better and better. Now, we haven't seen if Future's music is going to have that effect on that younger crowd once they get older, but I will tell you this, the stuff that ages well We can use Illmatic as a litmus test for this. Dope lyrics, dope melodics, easy listening lyrics, and timeless themes, as my former co-host would always say, and it's true. When you're actually talking about things that people deal with on a day-to-day, it's going to age well. You listen to some of the music that was for the times, it doesn't age as well because, we're not going through that anymore. But when you listen to, The World Is Yours, Life's a Bitch, or, New York State of Mind, or Memory Lane, these are things that people go through on a day-to-day. And it's different. We got Mad Max again with the super chat. Shout out to Mad Max showing love in the show. Says nobody plays Section 80 or To Pimp a Butterfly or Eminem. They barely play Good Kid, Mad City. Stop it. And a 25 and older ain't a teenager, Mike. I know people who forgot that after we left high school. None of my man's please dot no more. And none of my man's play dot no more. Well, see, you know what, man? Kendrick, you hear this? They saying they ain't playing you no more, man. That's why at this point, Kendrick needs to drop another album. I bet they playing Not Like Us. You can't escape that record. That record is a banger. It's everywhere. Are they playing? Tell me, Mad Max, are y'all playing Not Like Us? What do you think about Not Like Us? Is it not the closer in this battle and this back and forth? Let me guess. You think that you think that Family Matters is better than Not Like Us? Not like Family Matters. Don't get it fucked up. I think Drake messed up by putting it out the way that he did. I think he should have broke it up. But I think he underestimated Kendrick, and Kendrick caught him with a fatal shot once he slipped. It's like that boxing match where, you know what I'm saying, dude hit you with a punch that was a setup punch, and now you wide open, and K-Dot hit him with that combo. It was like, what was it? Meet the Grams. Boom, Not Like Us was that left that he wasn't even looking for. But yes, we got to give credit where credit's due, man. I know the guy that you picked in this situation, Mad Max, did not win. The guy I picked in this situation, I was kind of all over the place. I was kind of flip-flopping. I said, you know what? Initially, I said Kendrick. I said, I'm going to go with the lyrics. I said Kendrick has to out-rap him. We can rewind the tape. I said that. That's where I went first. But then when Drake kept coming with records and we weren't hearing anything from Kendrick, I kind of lost faith. I was like, oh, shoot. This is the Kendrick that hadn't dropped in 6 years, coming around again, or 5 or 6 years. I didn't know if he was even going to respond. And so at that point, I was saying that Drake was going to win. But, yeah, he didn't. Kendrick came through and hit him with a slugfest. But, yeah, so let me get back to this Eminem album, guys. I don't want to get too sidetracked. So we see the track list, and I want to go through the track list, actually. I'm not sure if we got it on the screen, but I'm going to read it right here, man. The track list officially was released today. There were a couple of track lists floating around for Eminem's upcoming album, The Death of Slim Shady, throughout the week. But we finally got an official one. Oh, Mad Max, come on. You got another super chat. Let's see. He's going to go back. He says, my brother likes Dot. We about the same age. He said that he don't even play Dot like that. He's playing Future, Drake, and Cole. This battle brought Dot back. Yes, it did. Jermaine Johnson with the super chat says, Future is all-time incredible, an impactful artist. However, the bare minimum requirement for being classified as a rapper is rapping great. I agree with that. And that's why I always leave Future off of my list. And I say that respectfully. I love Future. Future he's held down Atlanta in ways that, not many people can say that they have. He's kind of put the game on his back. He's incredibly impactful. I named him the most impactful hip-hop artist of that 2010s decade. He changed things. But with that being said, when we're talking about rapping and we're talking about bar for bar, it's hard for me to rank Future over certain people who excel in the rapping part of it. Because Future will give you melodics. He'll give you creativity. And I love the creativity. I think that's dope. But if we're talking about some rap shit, we're talking about something else. Thumbs up in the chat, guys. I'm about to read off this the death of Slim Shady track list. Well, let me start here. Eminem put out a trailer earlier today where it was a tombstone and a gravesite. It was a full out gravesite where somebody walked up to and said Slim Shady, 1997 through 2024, signifying the death of it. And he says, what it was the "Without Me" bar. It says things would be basically things ain't the same without him, whatever, blah blah blah. And so the guy comes up to the gravesite and pisses on Slim Shady's tombstone and walks away. And so, and then a hand comes up, on some Thriller shit. So it lets me know that the tone of this album is Eminem feels like his legacy, or at least Slim Shady's legacy. And I don't know if he's correlating Slim Shady to the character and Eminem and Slim Shady are two different people, or if this is a situation where Slim Shady is, the monker that's about to go away, or if he's talking about how people treat him. Anyway, it feels like he doesn't feel pleased with where his legacy is going in the way that people talk about him currently. And maybe this album is an answer to that. Maybe this is him saying, you know what, I'm going to give you this and I'm going to go away so you can appreciate me more when I'm gone. Similar to what Jay said on the Black Album. They never really miss you till you're dead or you're gone. So after this, I'm leaving after this song. And so I'm not sure if that's where this album's going to go sonically, but I know that's the tone and the rollout and how all of those things are transpiring with the lead up to this album. So with all that being said, hold on one second, guys. All right. Death of Slim Shady, track list right here. Starts off with Renaissance. We got number 2, Habits. Number 3, Trouble. Number 4, Brand New Dance. Number 5, Evil. Renaissance, Habits, Trouble, Brand New Dance, Evil. Trying to kind of gauge the tone based on these titles. It sounds very dark and morbid. Renaissance sounds, uplifting to some extent. And the Habits, not sure. Trouble, I think that's self-explanatory. Brand New Dance, not sure either. Evil. Okay, there we go with that tone again. Then we got a skit says All You Got. And then number 7 is Lucifer. So number 5 is Evil, and then it goes from Evil to Lucifer. And then after that, Antichrist. So, okay, it goes from Evil, Lucifer to Antichrist. Dang. And then it goes to a song called Fuel. Then Road Rage. Rage again. Then Houdini. We've heard Houdini. Then there's a breaking news skit. Then we got Guilty Conscious 2. And then we got Head Honcho. Temporary. Bad One. Toby. Guess Who's Back skit. And Somebody Save Me. Mad Max in the super chat says, nah, they gassing not like us. They're trolling me because I still say it's whack. I mean, he said, what does OVO stand for? Other vaginal option. Kitty, that's a trash bar. I'm not here for the juvenile disses. I can't refute that. I definitely can't refute that. Okay. Seems like a very dark toned album. But we'll see. But from what I'm hearing from the singles, and I'm trying to, look at this as objectively as possible. And all jokes aside, I'm really on this platform to be objective. I'm not here to spew any hate on any artist. And I know art is art, and I want to respect people's art and everything moving forward. But From what I've heard so far on this album, and we've heard Houdini and we've heard Toby. Houdini feels like, he's trying to get people back into the, without me type of vibe. And, it's rapping on there. I haven't really heard the song since it dropped. It's not one of those songs that you're hearing all over the place. You guys let me know if you're hearing it on radio. If you listen to radio, I don't really listen to radio too much. But let me know if you're hearing Houdini out there in your roundabout. Toby, it feels like a record where he's trying to out-rapping the guys that are there. And hopefully that's not the tone of the rest of the album. I want him to get creative. And I want him to be able to, give us some of the great moments of his career, not rehashed in a sense, but just the mindset that we received from that. Mad Max in the Super Chat says, he sounds like Steve Urkel on Not Like Us. Trash. Sounds like Steve Urkel on there. I don't know, man. I mean, I guess I see what you're saying. You talking about the voice or stylistically? All right. Either way, what we're going to see from Eminem this Friday, I think it's going to be interesting. I take this back to the day when he dropped the original Slim Shady LP. And to speaking of the Roots, he released that album the same day that the Roots released Things Fall Apart, 1999. Things Fall Apart and the Slim Shady LP came out the same exact day. And he's dropping the death of Slim Shady the same day that Common and Pete Rock are releasing their album. And so for hip-hop fans and for people who, want to get into the debates of who's the greats and who's this and that, we're going to have a clear assessment of two veterans at, deeper stages in their careers making great music, or not making great music, but making new music. And we'll be able to gauge who's where currently and who's where all time. Because another conversation I had offline, I really do judge our greats based on what they've been able to do in their latter years. That's what has set up Nas to be so far ahead of everyone right now. What he did in this KD and Magic run, unprecedented and so impressive on every level. As a veteran that he is, as somebody who's been in this game this long and still be hungry and still have the pen to the level that he does and still finds ways to get creative. Because the first thing that an older artist or their fans will tell you is, like with this Kanye thing that I'm going to get to in a second, they ran out of things to talk about. I don't know what to talk about anymore. Andre does it all the time. Andre's on a new episode of LeBron James's The Shop with Sexy Red as well. So I'm looking forward to talking about that also. Anyway, Nas has debunked that and has shown that, your pen can still be sharp at an older age. You can still be creative. You can still find ways to be inspired. I've written more than anyone. I don't think there's anybody in hip hop who's written more rhymes than Nas has. And he still found a way to create 6 albums in a matter of 4 years when in his late 40s, early 50s. That sets you apart. Saying all that to say, we're going to see Friday what Common looks like at this stage in his career. And granted, Common started 5-6 years professionally before Eminem did. And what Eminem looks like at this stage in his career. I've said this about Jay-Z as well. It's been 7 years since Jay's dropped an album. 444 just turned 7 years old a couple of weeks ago. And I held Jay high for the longevity and for the consistency and for him to continuously get better year after year. Like he said, never been a nigga this good, but this long, this hood, this hotter, this popper, this strong. So many different flows this once for this song. And that's not true anymore. I think Jay kind of alluded to in his interview with Gayle King that he doesn't have anything to talk about. When he said, when I say something or when I put out something, it has to be a moment or whatever he said, I'm paraphrasing there. He's basically telling you, I don't have anything to talk about. And because to kind of denigrate the process that got him to where he is, I think it's strange because he wasn't the artist that was waiting until he was inspired. Jay got his name and got on top of the game based on the fact that he was consistently out there. He was consistently putting out albums. He was consistently putting out work and hit. You think he was inspired on Volume 3? You think that he felt like he had to have something to say on Volume 3? No. He had music out there. That's what it was. And he was able to consistently do that over and over and over until he got into retirement. And after retirement, I feel like Jay's kind of been hit or miss. And I know we've been kind of ignoring that as hip hop fans because we want to dwell on, I guess we want to remember people for their high notes. And I say this respectfully, and I got love for Jay. I think Jay's still number 2 all time with these things even being said, but I'm just being objective. I'm letting you guys know I don't just reserve these opinions for Eminem. Jay has been hit or miss since his retirement. And I feel like he's had to reintroduce himself since the Black Album. And it's almost like, how many times do you have to let people know you're back? Because I don't really think we're going to get an album from Jay-Z anymore. I think 444 is it. I know it's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of hip-hop fans, especially hip-hop fans who see all of our veterans flourishing and making music. Like, you know, you see all of the older guys still putting out efforts. And Jay is the guy we always thought was going to continue and outlast everybody. And he hadn't made an album in 7 years, and I don't think we got an album coming. And I think at this point, based on his process and how he's traditionally made music, he's so out of rhythm. I don't know if I want a Jay album at this point. I don't think he's ever taken a break this long. It's been 7 years since 444. And when you look at 444, you know, some say it's critically acclaimed. Leroy says, again, what would Jay be proving? Let me see what Leroy said. So again, what would Jay be proving by rapping? That he's dope? No, Leroy. I mean, listen, shout out to Leroy in the building, man. I mean, listen to me. It's not about proving anything. It's just about being great. I think that he makes himself, obviously he's done his career is his career. And his number 2 spot, I think he's at the number 2 spot. I don't think it's as cemented as it would be. Now, this is the problem, Leroy and whoever else. Problem is, all of these lists, from a mainstream standpoint, they got him at number 1. And if we're looking at everything for what it is, I love Jay. Jay could be your favorite. But the truth is, he's not number 1. Strong number 2. But Nas has that number 1 in the bag just for, you know, what he's been able to do before Jay and clearly after Jay. So if you're asking me, what does he have to prove? What he has to prove is this number 1 spot that he keeps getting everywhere that he doesn't have for real. That's what he has to prove. And not to mention, this is a number 1 spot that he's always claimed and that he has always, in years past, worked for. And he's always pushed for. He's always talked about having. He was the only one, speaking of having that number 1 spot to that magnitude. His legacy is somewhat based on being the king of New York, is it not? These people are saying Jay was never number 1. Listen, there was a point in time where that number 1 spot was valid. It was solidified. He was active. And see, the thing is, you got your number 1 spot by being all-time great, being active, being consistent. He said, oh, I'm not making anything up. These ain't my words. These are Jay's words. He said he's the most consistent. He, you know what I'm saying, he's flow. He's got the best flow. And his interviews are holla, right? These are things that he put on himself. And so me as a hip hop fan and now as a journalist and hip hop critic, how could I not place those same criteria that he placed out there on him and the rest of the board? So yes, if you want to ask me what he has to prove, he has to prove that number one spot, unless he doesn't feel like he has that number one spot anymore. And if he doesn't have that number one spot anymore, fine. If he wants to admit that, sure. But all these lists that have him at number one, if you're asking me what he has to prove, I would say that would be that. But I judge people not only by their incredible legacies, but we look at how they were able to grow. And if we're being honest about Jay-Z's career, I don't think he's given us a real Jay-Z album to the level that we know Jay-Z of, and being that number one guy, honestly, since American Gangster. And that was 2007. American Gangster came out 17 years ago, guys. Was that 7? Yeah, because Kingdom Come was 06. 17 years ago, guys. I think the Blueprint 3, has its moments. When I listen to the Blueprint 3, I hear Kanye all over it, and I hear Jay trying to find his style to fit with what's going on in the current climate throughout that whole album. There's not many Jay-Z moments on the Blueprint 3. It's Jay-Z adapting to a new era. And I think that Kanye helped him a lot on that. I think that Kanye's name being executive producer on there proves that Kanye West helped him a lot in that aspect. It is what it is. And let's go on the Holy Grail. I think Holy Grail might be Jay-Z's weakest album. And then we go 444. People may like 444. I'm not a huge fan of it. Didn't love the production like that. I think for what we know Jay-Z to be and what he's great at, 444 didn't really exploit those things. It was Jay kind of charting down a new path for himself, which is fine. But I don't think that path that he was charting down is one of his strongest things. Like, let me give you an example. When Jay works with, let's use this as an example. Great collaboration for Jay is Scarface Siegel. When Jay, Scarface, and Siegel make songs together, they knock it out the park. They don't miss. They've done 3 songs together, and none of those songs are misses. Now, the chamber that Jay had to rap in on this Can't Be Life, he does well. He does okay. He's a great MC. He does it awesome. But he doesn't do it like Scarface and Beanie Siegel do. That's their lane, right? But when you look at Guess Who's Back and the way that song was put together, that was Jay's lane. That's Jay-Z right there. We make a great way. It's like, Guess Who's Back? Still smell the crack on my clothes. Don't make me have to relapse on these hoes. Take it back. Then I was back in the roads and I was thugging it. Niggas couldn't do nothing with it. Straight from the oven with it. Came from the dirt. I emerged out of it all without a stain on my shirt. You could blame my old earth for the shit she instilled in me. Still with me. Pain plus work. That's him. And he excels in that. And so I think 444 is him doing This Can't Be Life, Jay. But that's not what he's best at. And it turned out to be a good album for the people who wanted to hear it. But I like hearing Jay at his best. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would rather see Steph Curry out there shooting threes as opposed to attempting to dunk the ball, you know, if that's a decent correlation. But anyway, you understand what I'm saying. That was 2017. And here we are in 2024. We're not going to get a new Jay-Z album. It's not, what is he going to do? Like, what lane is he going to take up? What approach is he going to take? What is he going to talk about that you guys relate to? What What's he gonna do? Who's gonna produce it? Who would you guys like to see produce a Jay-Z album? Alchemist? Like, and I love Alchemist, and I think Alchemist is, one of the all-time greats. In this era, there's an argument for him to be the greatest producer of this era. But you don't want to hit Jay rapping like that now. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is the lane to take up? What is growth for him at this point, especially with him leaving us at 444? He drops so much knowledge on 444. If he goes back on some flashy J shit, I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he already covered that up. Now, it would be dope if Hit Boy and Jay could hook back up. But if he hooks up with Hit Boy, you guys know what that looks like. I would like to hear it musically. But if he hooks up with Hit Boy, y'all know what this looks like. Now, speaking of producers, I'll get off the Jay tangent for a second. But who produced on this Eminem record is what a lot of people are asking, looking at this track list. And one of the listen, it's an Eminem album, so more than likely the people who produced on it are Eminem and maybe some people in his circle, and maybe you might get a Dr. Dre produced song here and there, but it's not gonna sound like a Dr. Dre produced song. It's gonna sound like a Dr. Dre song he produced for Eminem. Now, my question is, if this is truly Eminem's Fade Out album, this is Eminem's Black album. Let's just call it that, because that's how he's marketing this. This is how he's rolling it out. Let's just say this is Eminem's The Black album, right? If this is Eminem's Black album, where are all these people who claim that Eminem's is all-time great? Where are their contributions to this album? Where are some of the all-time great producers that we've seen in this genre? You don't think they want to actually, send him off with a great track? Send him off with some dope beats? I mean, can we get some J Dilla produced records on Eminem's final album? I mean, J Dilla is Detroit, right? This is really a Detroit thing, right? J Dilla is Detroit's greatest producer. You guys do agree with that, right? Can we not get a J Dilla track on this final Eminem album? I wonder why. Where's some of the all-time great producers that vouch for him and his skill set and everything that he's been able to do in the genre, who hold him at top 5, top 10? Where's some of the all-time great MCs who place him there? Oh, on the flip side, all of these MCs whose shirts he wears and he gives props at award shows, where are their contributions to this album? Does he not want to collaborate with them? Is people's schedules messed up? Like, where are the collaborations? You would think that this is an actual send-off. You know what I'm saying? If it's a send-off like that, then the whole game needs to come through. And I won't say the whole game, but some select few. You can at least get a Dilla track. Can't get a Dilla track? Bodie James got a Dilla track. And Bodie James, didn't get here that long ago. You were here when Dilla was alive. I'm sure he knows people that knew Dilla, know Dilla's family. You know what the sales that Eminem garners with anything that he puts out. Do you understand what one Dilla track on an Eminem album could do for the Dilla Foundation alone? I mean, do it for Detroit. I mean, are we going to get that? I want to see who produced on this album. And if we don't get a Dilla produced track on the Eminem record, and then he can go out in the pasture and we can look back at his career and say, you know what? Never rhymed over a Dilla track. Never rhymed over a Pete Rock track. And shout out to Common, who's doing a whole album with Pete Rock that's dropping Friday. Never rhymed on a DJ Premier track, at least not on his album or anything like that. Never rhymed on a RZA track. Man, like, the question is, why? But Dilla, I mean, that's basic, man. Like, if you can rhyme, when you hear a Dilla track, anybody who's ever rhymed in their life, or freestyled or whatever, and even if you haven't freestyled, you hear a Dilla track, you can go pull up Dilla instrumentals on YouTube right now. It makes you want to rap. If you hear a Dilla track, you're going to just start spitting bars off top. It happens. It's a Dilla track. Why don't you want a Dilla track? I don't understand. That part of that I will never understand. The DJ Premier thing, I don't understand either. Royce did 2 albums with Premier. I don't get it. And to be perfectly honest, man, whenever we get Dr. Dre with him, don't sound like Dr. Dre tracks to me. But that's another subject for another day. Can we get a Kanye produced track, or does Kanye not produce anymore? What about the Mike Will made stuff? Can we get Eminem on a Mike Will made track? What about Metro? Metro said he wanted to work with Eminem. Can we get that? I thought Alchemist produced this first single, and then somebody told me he did. Somebody said, does he have any rhythm? Listen, I mean, I think that he does have rhythmic issues when it comes to tracks. That's why I think that when you hear a Dr. Dre produced track for him, it's drastically different from when Dr. Dre produces for Snoop, or when Dr. Dre produces for Exhibit, or when Dr. Dre produces for whomever. I mean, listen, man, like, where are the tracks? Like, who's going to be producing on this album? You know what Jay did with his send-off? What about a Pharrell track? Is that crazy? I mean, is it crazy to say, like, we don't have a Eminem and Neptune produced track, or Pharrell produced track? I don't know. And if that's crazy to say, why is it crazy? When Jay did his send-off for the Black Album, we got the Neptunes, we got DJ Quick, and DJ Quick just gave Eminem props that Eminem's the greatest. Hopefully DJ Quick has produced on this album. I'm looking forward to hearing the DJ Quick produced song on this album. Anyway, on the Black Album, we got DJ Quick, we got Rick Rubin, we got the Neptunes, we got Timbaland, we got Ninth Wonder. Can we get a Ninth Wonder track? Can we get a Ninth Wonder track, Em? Ninth Wonder got a track on this Eminem album. Imagine what that would do for these producers, publishing and just royalties, excuse me. Like, I don't understand it, man. Like, and for hip hop, right? Y'all want to hear a Ninth Wonder produced Eminem track, don't you? Ninth, let us know, man. Like, have you ever submitted tracks to him? I want to know. Like, I want to know if Ninth has ever, yeah. Anyway, I'm beating a dead horse. But yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing who produced on this album. And we're going to check it out on Friday, man. Or at least I'm going to check it out. I might check in with you guys and do like a little short, you know what I'm saying, and just get like a first reaction. Yeah, Black Milk, man. Black Milk's dope, man. A lot of dope producers out there, man. And shit, DJ Mustard just connected with Kendrick for the first time and they made magic, man. Don't be scared to jump on new sounds. And like, it's the death of Slim Shady. We might as well go all out, right? Let's take chances. Let's take some chances, man. Will Sessions. I appreciate you guys mentioning some of these people. Apollo Brown. Like, it's so, we just did a whole producer tournament, man. And when you look at some of the all-time greats, man, like, even when you look at Kane and Rakim, like, these guys worked with Molly Marr. Can Molly Marr get a spot? Damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, Molly Marr can't get a spot on the Eminem record. And y'all wonder why I don't consider, let me fix my words carefully. Y'all wonder why I consider him more of a pop artist than a hip-hop artist. Hip-hop artists work with hip-hop artists. And hip-hop producers are different than everything else, man. Like, this is a different genre. This is a different soundscape in a different space. Hip-hop producers are artists themselves. And hip-hop artists and MCs and producers, this is the DJ and MC combination that started from the beginning. With Herc and Coke LaRock. This is that. And when hip-hop MCs, that's why you have MCs jumping on Premier Records. MCs jumping on Trackstar. Shout out to Trackstar up in Chicago, man. Made the whole Adrenaline Rush album for Twista. Like, you have these synergies that are created with producers and MCs, and they spread the love around. You got Gangstar, and then, you know, from Gangstar, Premier was able to lend his sound to Nas and lend his sound to Biggie, to Jay-Z, to Royce the 5'9" even. And the fact that M's not even a part of this cycle makes me feel like, what hip hop circle are you even in? And when Dre, hip hop's greatest producer, works with him, it sounds drastically different than anything that Dre makes for anybody else. If Dre were to go in there and do a versus against anybody, he's not playing one Eminem song. He will not. He can't. It's a loss. He shouldn't. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't do it. You can't go out there playing "Let Me Ride," "Murder Was the Case," damn, "Still DRE," and I know y'all gonna say that was, wasn't made by him, whatever. Next episode, and then go play "Hi, My Name Is." You're not gonna do that. So yeah, I mean, yeah, those are reasons why I question the hip hop validity of that individual artist. And let's look at the production here. I hope Friday I'm proven wrong. I hope I hear DJ Quick on there. I hope I hear J Dilla on there. I hope I hear a track from DJ Premier. I hope I hear some Alchemist as well. I don't think those are far-fetched things to ask for. I don't think that is out of the realm of possibility. I don't think that asking for a J Dilla track on Eminem's last album is something that is so far-fetched that I'm asking for too much. Now, I heard Kanye West retired before we get up out of here. In a recent text message exchange that Rich the Kid put out there, he said he was done. Now, I'm gonna keep that same energy that I've had for Jay and M. Y'all know I rock with Ye. I think that Kanye West is probably hip hop's greatest overall artist. We're talking about producer, MC, performer, overall visionary, and my favorite overall artist hip hop has is Q-Tip. Comes from the Q-Tip tree. Kanye hasn't lived up to the quality standard that we know him to have in a very long time. And creatively, it's just my opinion as a creative myself, and just listening to what he's been putting together over the past 10 to 15 years. Creatively, it sounds like he's looking for that next thing, and he might creatively be getting, dry musically. I think a lot of his creativity has been, and his time and his efforts have been lended more towards fashion. And the music thing doesn't excite him anymore. And probably mostly because he hasn't allowed it to excite him anymore. And he's moved on to something that excites him more, which is fashion. And similar to Andre playing the flute, like, hip hop music doesn't excite him, flute playing does. And that's fine. But I will say this. What everybody has to understand, and I get it, nobody's being held hostage. You can't make somebody do something they don't want to do. But the thing is, man, like, when you are a hip hop artist, when you're a singer, when you're an NBA player, whatever you do, those things that you excel at the best, those are the things that people are going to remember you for. And you're always going to be that. You're never going to be, in the eyes of the public, and even if it's right or wrong, you're never going to be Kanye West, fashion designer first. Going to be Kanye West, the artist first. I think this is something that Tom Brady's going through right now, and I think a lot of pro athletes go through this when they have to retire. LeBron James might be going through this to a certain degree now too. When you're no longer able to go out there and play on that field or on that court, you're not the same person to the public as you were when you're going out there scoring 32 a night and winning championships. Your brand is based on what you do best. And saying all those things to say, if Kanye is going to put a stamp on his brand, which it sounds like Eminem's doing too right now, you got to go out with a bang. And, I truly believe that, when people leak text messages, except for like when Kanye does it without warning for people and then deletes it later, when stuff like, when Rich the Kid gets the go ahead to release or post exchange that him and Kanye West were having, you have to think that Kanye West allowed that to go out there, right? Maybe it's some promotion for something, maybe it's not. But I'm going to say, to stamp this legacy in the way that it needs to be stamped, I think that he needs to go out with a bang, and he needs an album that is going to captivate and just put a whole capsule on his full out career. He needs that. He needs that Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy moment right now. And not saying it needs to be my Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, but let us know that you're still in there, right? Let us know that. And for me, Daytona was that moment as a producer, because at the time, Ye was kind of like all over the place. We just got off of that Nasir thing. And, he had just been on TMZ and kind of made a spectacle with the whole Rosa Parks. Not Rosa Parks. That wasn't the Harry. He said so many things, man. The slavery was a choice thing. That's what that was. And so that happened. And then he produced Daytona. And I was like, damn, even with all that going on, he could still give us Daytona. He needs that moment as an artist again, because Ye had its moments, the album. Donda had its moments. I don't go back to Donda as much. My former co-host is probably right. I liked it in the moment. I like a couple of songs. I like Praise God a lot. But as a whole, it's not that. I think Jail's dope. Good moments here and there. He said, and these are his quotes, he doesn't really love My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy like that, because he can make a great album. I'm paraphrasing this. He can make a great album at the drop of a hat. He knows how to do that. He's mastered that. He's mastered himself musically. Well, if that's the case, you need to do that right now and close out everything right now. Like Kanye West, if you're going to sit here and say it's over, you're done, he's one of those guys that should give us a grand finale. And if he ever comes back later, fine, whatever. I think that for whatever reason, Kanye has looked at Drake, and it's always been confusing to me, because I never thought Drake was any level of competition to Kanye on any level. And I say that respectfully. Like, yes, he hits the charts are charts. But if you're talking about somebody who's made creative singles and creative music videos, great albums, produced, put on tours like the Yeezus tour, I mean, they're not even in the same bracket, in my opinion. But I think that the attention that Drake has garnered and the numbers that Drake has garnered throughout his career have threatened Ye into the point where he is working outside of himself. And I want to tell Ye, like, dude, do you for the first time in a very long time, because what made Kanye West was the fact that he was willing to do him. And no words are truer than him saying, everything I'm not made me everything I am. When you start looking over to that other person or what that other person was doing, you start losing. It's like when, they tell you in track and field, man, when you're running your race, look forward. When you start looking over to the side, you're losing speed, and that person's going to catch you. And this is what he's done at this point in his career. And I don't know if it's a lack of finding inspiration. I don't know if it's just the toll of fame and just everything extra that comes with that. Because you got to think, a creative musically, it's going to be hard to really get in that mode and create if you got a lot of noise going on. And I mean that figuratively and figuratively and literally. Excuse me. So I don't know what he needs to do, but I think that he needs to get out there and make that final album and make it great. And I think that Jay needs to do the same thing, but I don't think we're going to get that from Jay. I think Jay is cool with leaving on 444. And I think leaving on 444 is kind of safe because people hold 444 high. They, I don't want to say make excuses for it, but they justify its shortcomings based on, life and living life and age and things like that. And that's cool, whatever. 444 is a safe album to go out on. I think that's what Jay's going to do. Kanye, you're not a safe artist. You've never been a safe artist. Your first single, you rapped it with your mouth wired shut, and you weren't sounding like who you were as an artist, and you allowed that to be everyone's first listen into your first single as an artist and not a producer. Nigga, you take risks. That's what you are, and that's what makes you the great artist that you've always been. Be a risk taker again and give the people this magnum opus in the end and let them know why you are the greatest overall hip-hop artist of all time. Let them know from top to bottom. Let them know why people still rock with you from generations and generations on, even when you do say wild things, even when you go out there and are, I don't want to say an antagonist, but someone who takes the opposite end of popular view, which is fine. I have no problem with that. If you're right, you're right. If you're wrong, you're wrong. I get that. But dude, you're Kanye West, and you can't go out with vultures or vultures too. Collaborative albums are collaborative albums. We need a solo album from Kanye West. Carnival's dope. But again, I think that we've started to lower our standards for who this artist is. And I think you still got it, man. I mean, I hear moments where Kanye sounds like the great Kanye to me. And I hear moments where I'm like, well, what's going on? I guess he's trying things. Listen, I have no problem with people trying things at all because I love Electric Circus. I love the experimental side of it. But there comes a time where now the challenge sounds like you got to make some things that connect. Because before the challenge was to try different sounds, try different things, do things that you haven't done. But now the challenge is to connect. And now you got to get back to basics. You got to get back to the basics. And so if Kanye West is truly retiring, I think that this is an all-time great career. But I don't really love the notion of hip-hop artists retiring because they say they don't have anything to talk about. I see a lot of people talking about, I never heard that. I hear people talking about Mickey and, spending some time with Mickey earlier in the year, man. Like, we see how writers like that operate and how their memory connects and how music just comes to them like this and lyrics just come to them like this. It's such a vessel and such a skill and it's a muscle, you know what I'm saying? And it makes you really appreciate the art of crafting, you know what I'm saying? And for people who say that they don't have anything to talk about, I'm like, you ain't rapped half as much time as some of these guys who continue to have something to talk about. Man, Max in the super chat says, the cape Mike puts on for Ye should be studied. Am I putting on a cape? I'm saying that he hadn't dropped anything inspiring in a very long time, and he needs to do so. He's had a great career regardless, but the theme of this show is I'm judging the greats by their elder years and their older years and what they're able to do in them. And I'm hearing some Mickey stuff in the chat. Hold on. Let's see what this discussion is. He's saying that Kanye should get Mickey and Blue to write for him. Update me in the chat, guys. I'm sitting over there talking. What did Mickey write something for Kanye? Are y'all saying Mickey wrote something for Ye? Mad Max in the super chat says Ye has always been a soft pop rapper. I don't know about that, man. I mean, I guess whatever you want to call soft pop. I think that Stronger is a pop moment for Kanye. Oh, y'all saying that he wrote Jail? Wow. I never heard that. Do we have proof of that? Listen, I'm not gonna debunk it, but Mickey Fax wrote Jail, really? Huh. Huh. And that's the other thing too, guys. I don't love Ye using writers. I don't love Ye using writers. I don't. And if that's the real narrative and that's the truth, I wouldn't doubt it. I don't love it. So I mean, even with the final album, I think that if he's going to do a final album, or if he's just going to quit, there's a difference. And I was telling Ron this: the difference between quitting and retiring. I think if he sends out this message through Rich the Kid, and he's leaving music like that, that's quitting. Retiring would be to actually give people a final moment, like Tribe gave us. Tribe gave us two final moments. They gave us the Love Movement, and when they were actually promoting the Love Movement, they were letting everybody know it was the last album. They were letting everybody know what the future held for that group, so people weren't just sitting there waiting and being, having a carrot dangled in front of their face, right? And then they did it with the final album after Fife's passing. Those give you closure as a fan. And anything other than that is quitting. I'm not saying that. Well, CJ already did his closure album, and then he went and did 444 years and years later. And if he leaves out on 444, it's understandable. I don't think we got any new Jay-Z music coming anytime soon. I don't think anybody expects any, to be honest. But Kanye, I think we expect new music. And if he retires like this, man, I don't want to say retire. This is quitting. This isn't retiring. If he leaves the game like this musically, I think this is him quitting, and hopefully he'll come back and reconsider. But if he's truly serious about what was relayed to us from Rich the Kid, I would hope he would consider to actually make a final album and retire the right way. Mad Max to the super chat says, he just say wild stuff, so you think he's deep. He's not. That's true. I mean, that's what it feels like. That's what it's been feeling like lately, to be honest with you guys. Like, and y'all know I rock with Ye, and what I'm saying, and him musically and what he's been able to do throughout his career. He's one of the greats. But yeah, I think that without the music, all your other stuff doesn't hold as well. What people got to understand, and I think Jay-Z's understood this for a long time. Him as an artist is his brand. Everything else kind of circulates from that. Jay-Z's doing this thing in business and has been for a moment, but his music career set that up. And his music career allowed him to be able to coast into the business world in the way that he is now. Now, if he does some more music, it could take away from his time in business. It could, or it could add to it. But when it comes to Ye and his influence and everything that he's been able to progress in this game, including Jarv said I'm grieving on air. I'm not. I'm just saying, look, if you're going to do this, you have to understand your nucleus as being an artist. And the Yeezys and all that stuff is going to sell out. It's going to happen. Same thing with Rihanna. Like, Rihanna's found another business outside of music. But I will say this. Nothing's bigger than the music. When you go out there and make some big music, that makes every other business venture you have even bigger. Jarv thinks the Ye is too far gone. I'm not disagreeing with that, because what the resume says recently is you're probably right. He's got to prove that otherwise to other people. You have to leave people with a great memory, is all I'm saying. I'm saying all this to say, don't go out like that. Don't quit like that, man. You have to leave people with a lasting moment. That moment where Jordan, hit that shot in Utah. You got to leave people with that moment. His last Bulls moment. Black Wealth and Power with the super chat. Shout out to Black Wealth and Power. He says, does Ye have the most classic albums of any MC dead or alive? I count 4. College Trilogy and Dark Fantasy. Well, when you say 4 classics, It's debatable depending on what artist and who you're talking to about that said artist. I like to look at them as undisputed classics, right? I don't think it's a conversation about College Dropout. Late Registration might be the most questionable one, and I think it's a classic, but does everyone think it's a classic? Graduation, that's undisputed, I think. And yeah, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is undisputed. Now let's look at Jay. Reasonable Doubt's a classic, undisputed. The Blueprint, I think that's undisputed as well. The Black Album's undisputed. What do you guys think about Volume 2? Or what's Jay's fourth classic undisputed album? That's the question right there. Mad Max with the super chat says, glad he done. Tired of the Disney Channel's jingles. You got to get rid of the auto-tune out here, man. Yeah, you got to get rid of the auto-tune out here, man. I mean, I ain't gonna say we need a rap album from him because he's not even a rapper like that. But y'all know what he brings to the table. And, you know, at this point, it feels like a distant memory. It's been a long time since My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. You guys think that American Gangster is a classic? I like American Gangster a lot personally, but I don't know if I would stack it up to other classics. Volume 2, Age Like Milk, Volume 2 is trash. Let's look at Nas then. Illmatic. It was written. All right, Nas' third undisputed classic is Stillmatic. And then what's 4? I could say KD 3. Times are different, right? I say KD 3. Mad Max with the super chat says he does not have 4 classic. You call anything a classic. Like I said on Saturday, if you don't have 7 or more classic songs on your project, your album's not a classic. I don't care who you are. Ye might have 1 or 2. Okay. Well, before we get out of here, Mad Max, you have to have 7 or more songs that are classic on the project. Which Kanye album do you not think is a classic? And then we'll go to that album. I want to hear from you, Mad Max. You let us know which Ye album you think is not a classic, and we'll go down the track list and see if it has 7 or more classic songs on it. Because I'm willing to do this before we close out today. Mad Max, don't get silent now. I want to know. Because you can't be really... I hope you're not talking about College Dropout. Late Registration might be what you're talking about, but let's see. If he's talking about Late Registration, let's go to the track list. Let's do it. DJ Bruce Almighty said, Mad Max smoking 7? True. Right. Okay. If he's talking about Late Registration, I skipped over College Dropout because I know he's not talking about that album. Heard him say, is that not a classic? Touch the Sky. Is that not a classic? Gold Digger. Like it or not, it's a classic. Drive Slow. It's 4 right there. But let's take away Drive Slow. Just to, let's just say take away. My Way Home, Common. Listen, man. I love that record. We'll hold that one too. Crack Music, classic. We'll hold Roses and Bring Me Down, even though I think these are dope songs. Addiction, we'll hold that too. Diamond, Sierra Leone, classic. That's 5. We Major, classic. 6. Hey Mama, I think that's a classic too. That's 7. Gone, that's a classic. That's 8. Celebration's great too. This is a great album. Okay. I still ain't hear back from Mad Max and see which one he's talking about, but that's Late Registration. I think it passed the test. I think that. What do you guys think? You think that passes 7 tests? Okay, let's get a Graduation. Graduate. Here we go. Graduation. Mad Max. He got quiet now. So we're going to do this. Good Morning. Nigga, that's a classic. I wasn't even going to count that. Champion, not one of my favorites. So I'll hold on that. Stronger, like it or not, it's a classic. I Wonder, classic. Mad Max with the super chat says, start with the third one or College Dropout. Oh, we can go to College Dropout then. I'm going to go to College Dropout, and I'm on the third one right now. So I got Good Morning, which is a classic. I'll reserve Champion and Stronger, just for conversational purposes. I Wonder's a classic. Good Life is a classic. Can't Tell Me Nothing's a classic. That's 4. Barry Bonds is a classic. That's 5. Flashing Lights, 6. Everything I Am, 7. Come on, man. I'll Hold the Glory. Homecoming, classic. Big Brother, that's 9 right there. Mad Max in the super chat says, go through all his albums. He ain't got 4 classics. Okay, we're going to go back to College Dropout. Go back to College Dropout. By your standards, it has to be 7 classics or more. Now, let me know what song that I spoke on that wasn't classic. Let me know. Let me know where I misspoke. So, we'll go College Dropout. Here we go. I can't believe you said this about College Dropout. Mad Max says, nobody playing them joints. Really? I think people are playing them joints, man. We Don't Care, classic. All Falls Down, classic. Spaceships, I think is a classic, but we'll hold that for the moment. Jesus Walks, classic. Never Let Me Down featuring Jay-Z, classic. That's 4. Get 'Em High, classic. That's 5. Workout Plan Out. Slow Jams, classic. That's 6. Breathe In, Breathe Out with Luda, 9. 2 Words, classic. That's 7. Through the Wire, classic. That's 8. Family Business, classic. That's 9. And Last Call, that's 10. Okay. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, anybody? Mad Max in the super chat says, Stronger is not a classic. Stop it. I took Stronger out. Barry Bonds isn't a classic? Wow. That's revisionist history, guys. Barry Bonds was a big moment for Wayne. Wayne wasn't the Wayne that you guys know of today. Barry Bonds, and that's what I was talking about the other day with Soldier Song, the Destiny's Child feature for Wayne and T.I. Those are big moments for Wayne and T.I. But Wayne being on Barry Bonds was a big moment for Wayne. Y'all don't think that's a classic? Okay, that's cool. I mean, even without that, I still passed the 7 mark. That was a big, big moment for Wayne in that push that he was doing at the time. It's actually the biggest album that he was featured on during that run. It was very necessary. Okay, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I mean, can we agree that this is classic? Do I gotta go through this? Dark Fantasy, classic. Gorgeous, classic. Power, classic. All of the Lights, classic. Monsters, a classic. So Appalled's classic. We're 6 in, guys. Devil in a New Dress, that's classic too. Runaways, a classic. That's 8. Hell of a Life, I like the record. Not a classic, I guess. Blame Game, I don't think that's classic. Lost in the World, this album kind of loses steam at that point. So yeah, I got 8 right there. Mid-beat. I can see that. I can see people thinking that. I think that Barry Bonds suffers from the fact that it's around all those other records. Now, let me be clear. And I maybe have said this before. Of Kanye's strongest 4 albums, I got Graduation 4, personally. But I know people have Graduation at number 1, number 2. Like, it depends on when you came around. Like, for the people who grew up in the Graduation era, Graduation is the moment where everything changed. I heard Yasin Bey call Graduation his Thriller moment. And to a certain degree it is. He went up against 50 Cent, who was a powerhouse at the time when it came to sales. He outsold 50 Cent, even though 50 wasn't totally at his peak per se, but he was coming off of an album where he sold 1.3 million in a week. And he came out the same day as that. And so Graduation, the momentum that album was generating at that time, and the way Can't Tell Me Nothing was everywhere, and the way Good Life hit, and the way that that album played from beginning to end, there's a generation that is forever influenced by Graduation. So Graduation is a big, big moment. I think for a lot of people who were listening to Kanye before Graduation and even came along after Graduation, they don't hold Graduation as high. But for me, I go The College Dropout, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, Late Registration, and then Graduation for me. So, but yes, with all that being said, man, Mad Max, you are tripping. Kanye West, you got to give us a final album. You got to give us a proper send-off if you're going to quit the game like that. But because right now, it looks like the past few years and really the past decade, you haven't been able to do what your strongest thing is, and that's make great albums. Kanye West is an artist that we are going to acknowledge his impact in this game because he was able to make great albums consistently and give you great singles and give you great subject matter and balance. He comes from the album making era. And unfortunately, he hasn't been able to give us an undisputed classic album since My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy came out. That was 2010, right, guys? 2010, something like that. It's been damn near 15 years. If you're gonna retire from the game, yay, listen to me, man. Make that great album. I know you got it in you. If you don't have it in you, then, try. You might get inspired on the way. Mad Max in the Super Chat says, it's funny that you played this versus Jay and lost how these songs classic. It's funny you played this versus Jay and lost how these songs classic. Okay, let's do that with Jay real quick. Before I get out of here, these Jay-Z albums that we call classic, and the ones you guys question, which Jay-Z album you guys want me to do? Because I think that the Blueprint's classic, Black Album's classic, and Reasonable Doubt, of course. What's his fourth? Is it American Gangster? Is it Volume 2? Y'all saying Volume 2, Age Like Milk and all that. You know what? No. I'm not going to let y'all just dog Volume 2 out like that. We got to remember, Volume 2 had songs on it. So let's go technically by Mad Max's criteria. Let's go by Mad Max's criteria. Y'all got to. I'm going to get to American Gangster next. Let's go with Mad Max's criteria. Oh, and then this poll from earlier made you look beat out One Mic and One Love for Nas's best music video. I'm proud of you guys. I kind of agree with this. Let's go by Mad Max's criteria. What we need: 7 classic songs. The intro, Hand It Down, featuring Memphis Bleak. Classic or not? I like Hand It Down. I think Hand It Down could be a classic, but we'll hold on to that for now. Hard Knock Life is a classic. If I Should Die, nah. Ride or Die, nah. Jigga What, Jigga Who, yes. Money Cash Hoes, classic. A Week Ago, classic. Coming of Age, the sequel, nah. Can I Get Her, classic. It's 5. Paper Chase, Reservoir Dogs, classic. That's 6. We're close. It's Like That. Kid Capri now. It's All Right, classic. That's 7. Money Ain't a Thing, classic. That's 8. Okay, I got 8 by my count. What do y'all say? Y'all saying no. Let's go to American Gangster. Go to American Gangster real quick. Now, if Leroy was, I bet Leroy counted 15 classic songs, I'm sure. Okay. All right. American Gangster. No, that Kid Capri track was fire. Yeah, it's Like That. It's hard. He's snapping on there, but I don't know if I can say it's a classic. I like it though. A lot. All right. American Gangster. Let's see what Mad Max got to say. I still got he said I still got the Ye J Station head. Hove smoked Ye. I messed up a little bit in there, but I don't think he smoked him. It was really, really, really close. Jay's just a much better rapper than Ye. It is what it is. American Gangster right here. Pray. I don't think Pray's classic. American Dreamin' though. I'm gonna go American Dreamin'. Hello Brooklyn, no sir. No Hook? Sure. I'll go with No Hook being a classic. That shit was hard. The Rock Boys, classic. Sweet, classic. I Know. What do y'all think about I Know? I give I Know classic status, I guess. Party Life. Yeah. Ignorant Shit. Yeah. Say Hello. Yeah. Success. Sure. Fallen. Blue Man. Yeah, American Gangster is really good, man. Yeah. American Gangster is really good. American Gangster could be a classic. Jay might have 4 classics, guys. What holds American Gangster back from being a classic? I guess it's ability to have multiple singles, but that's not really a problem. I think that Rock Boys is enough. Like, I think the Rock Boys and Blue Magic is actually enough, really. Yeah, I think, you know what? I'm going to sit here and say this on the show because I know it's a very formidable single. I think Party Life could have been a single as well. I think if Party Life is on 444, it's the best song on there. I think Say Hello could have easily been a single as well. Blue Magic was clearly a single. I think there could have been a video for Fallen, to be honest. And I like the closeout track, the American Gangster song. That's the last time that him and Just Blaze worked together, I believe. But yeah, I'm cool with American Gangster being considered a classic. I don't like the way y'all do Volume 2, but I understand it. All right, guys. I got to get up out of here. It's been great talking with you. Hit like and subscribe, of course. Make sure you stay tuned because we got a lot of really dope announcements coming up because we're going to change up a few things. I don't want to say too much right now because I know it's a lot of people who copy what According to Hip Hop does. And it's understandable because, you got to follow the leader. I get that. But we got a lot of great announcements coming up. Just stay tuned. It's going to be some really dope stuff, man. We're about to take this whole thing to a whole nother level. I'm looking forward to hearing Common and Pete Rock on Friday. I'm looking forward to hearing Eminem, The Death of Slim Shady on Friday. And we're going to have some more classic conversations as well because I think we opened up Pandora's box in a way tonight that I think we need to expound upon a little bit more moving forward. And look for that top 25 greatest hip hop music videos list. That's going to be next week for sure. And look for those playlists that are coming out on Spotify and possibly Apple Music too. We'll work out something with them as well. Y'all have a great week. I can't wait to hear what y'all got to say about these albums that are coming Friday. I'm excited. New music. But anyway, hit like and subscribe. Join us on the next show. Join us on the Weekend Rhyme. Shout out to Leroy. Shout out to Siobhan. Shout out to Rhyme, man. And we're going to holler at y'all later.